Welcome back to Political Cadence for 4/8/26. And once again, we've had 2 weeks
it's
of chaos.
what 4/8/26?
Ugh,
He's going European.
yes, that's
Ah.
right. Aaron was on. Aaron was on point. He was in tune. He was
8/8/26.
tracking 8/8/26.
Yes.
I didn't say an or an ah during that opening, and yet I still managed to fuck it up. But
You're
that's okay.
fine. I like that you're aware of the umming and the ahhing.
Well, it's good that
I
you're there
will
to
say
catch it.
this, something else that our listeners might want to know about. Will's aware of it, Aaron isn't. I took a little nap, okay? And when I woke up from the nap, both my wheelchair and my walker had been moved. So I couldn't reach them. So I now know how Philip's going to trap me in the house.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
When he goes full,
Yeah, I'm not planning to do anything of that nature. I'm not
No.
MAGA.
I
Right.
think he'd
I-
rather
I
the.
am female
I don't
friendly.
think I
I
think
don't-
MAGA means you're going to trap me.
Well, don't
Okay.
ask Max.
Yeah.
Max Miller that.
Okay, who's
Yeah.
Max Miller again?
Max Miller is the son-in-law of Bernie Moreno.
Okay.
In fact, that might be a good place to start after we go to our comments from our listeners from the
Mhm.
previous 2 weeks.
Okay.
We had Tim Hammond. Trump has helped Caitlin Collins become a massive celebrity, and she is. So Trump is getting credit for Caitlin Collins. This is an example of the twisted logic we're dealing with. But that maybe they meant that literally, though. Maybe they are very much a Caitlin Collins fan. Who knows? But that's Tim. Then we got Gilbert Johnson, and Gilbert called us dumb, dumber, and dumbest! ! That's because Rob wasn't
I
here.
wonder who wins.
It's because Rob wasn't here last time. It was just the.
And I wasn't
reason.
here either.
You know what? Maybe this is Rob on here clandestinely giving us some heat from the wrestling. From the wrestling world. Maybe he's giving us some heat. So we're kind of like the four riders of the apocalypse here.
Heel turn.
I was not present last time because I was having a little breathing issue.
Right.
It's better. Thank you.
Well, here we got John McDanis. Is this the best the left can do? Is put
No.
3 bozos who doesn't know what they're
The
talking about on here.
Okay. All we talk about is facts, people. FACTS.
Well, much like Caitlin Collins, maybe we're making celebrities of these folks. So
Yeah.
thank you for your comments and keep them coming. This was mostly from John Ossoff, our reel, where the clip where we had kind of talked about him obliterating Pete Hegseth in his special, in his presentation before Congress.
Asking him the yes or no question.
Yeah. When Ossoff kind of.
Oh, how dare he.
So, anyway, there you go.
Hegseth wasn't capable of answering one. So.
Right.
Oh, he was capable. You didn't want
Apparently he
him.
wasn't.
My question
But,
is, if we're so damn terrible,
Hi, pretty
why is
girl.
MAGA watching us?
Did you see our
Yeah.
pretty girl?
Right.
Isn't she
Uh,
beautiful?
Well,
My little
if you've noticed,
tiger.
the peanut gallery really doesn't offer a whole lot of rebuttal or anything of that nature in their criticisms. It's mostly they just kind of lay it out there that we're retarded or idiotic or dumb with
Well,
the B
let
or
me-
dumb
let
without
me-
the B, whichever.
I
Hey,
think that we could respond
Hey guys,
saying, please come on the podcast and tell us where we were wrong.
Well,
yeah,
I
but
doubt
as
they
for
would.
MAGA, I got one message for you,
Mhm.
and here it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I
double
love
down
the
on
way
that.
it blurred out your fingers.
Take
That's
your
funny.
opinions, turn them straight up your candy ass.
Come and get some. All right.
Yeah, but anybody who feels that we are incorrect, our facts are wrong, or they just want to give it to us in person, come on. We're not going to scream at you. We're not going to yell at you. We're just going to listen.
Well,
But we would love to listen to dissenting opinion. In fact, if there's a dissenting opinion that wants to be on the
is-
air with us regularly, let's do
Lisa,
that.
I love you, but speak for yourself. I don't want to hear these morons. I've been
If
hearing
you
this
got-
fucking shit for 2
Got
years
something
now.
to
It's
say,
like,
come here.
12 years now.
I don't want to hear
Yeah.
about their own research. I don't want to hear about
Mhm.
both sides. I
Okay.
don't want to. Let's have a conversation. Let's.
Well,
Uh,
maybe
let's
that's why we've never had a
I don't
dissenting
want to
opinion,
hear this
because
bullshit. Listen, that
you don't want to
stuff.
hear it.
That stuff.
Okay.
You don't engage this fucking bullshit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know, you don't. I'm tired. We're
Um,
tired of it. It's going to fucking. We're like 87 days away from the midterms.
Mm.
We're going to start actually having some action against these idiots like
Come on
RFK
up.
and
Metal munchies better.
Kash Patel and the president of the United States. Shit is about to go down.
Wiggle your
Anyway,
fingers.
let's
already
not
happened,
give them
though.
any
Just
more.
take a look.
Go ahead.
Well, take a look at how many progressives are now winning primaries over the Democratic establishment, and it's scaring the shit out of them. And maybe this is a good thing, because then maybe the Democratic establishment will open up their goddamn eyes, grow a fucking pair, and actually stand up for something for once.
Yeah. Let me ask you this about that. Abdul El Sayed just won his.
Syed.
Yes. Do you think that? Okay, so what did not work in 2016? Hillary Clinton actually kind of assumed that Trump would be the most easy to defeat candidate of all the candidates at the time. And so she kind of implicitly didn't support him, but did not really attack him like a real threat throughout the campaign. And it came back to bite her in the ass. Do you feel like maybe Republicans looking at this far left movement in the Democratic Party and saying, that's actually probably a good thing, because they might be able to win a mayor's race in New York City, but on a national stage, they're not going to be as much of a threat as a more traditional Democrat candidate?
I would not buy any stock in that at all, because the bottom line is the American voters are sick and tired of the two-party system. They're tired of the Republicans wiping their ass with the Constitution, and they're sure as hell tired of the Democratic Party just standing back and letting them do whatever the fuck they want to do
Yuck.
with no resistance whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate, because I think it's a response. It's an overcorrection to the extreme on the right, that the more leftist candidates are having success against people like Susan Collins, and at least they're winning the debate against the Chuck Schumers and the
moderates.
The moderates. Yeah.
Yep. The establishment.
They keep running every 4 years the most moderate Democrat. And
right.
Yeah. And here's something to take a look at, guys. Take a look at how well Mamdani is doing in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten so far under Trump's skin, it's not even funny.
Yeah. But of course, if he were to visit the White House, he'd meet him with roses, right? He'd give him his roses.
Yeah.
And maybe
and
a
the thing
kiss on
is,
the cheek.
too, this guy that Al Sayed is going to run against, I mean, this guy's thrown everything but the damn kitchen sink at him. And Al Sayed basically told him, hey, Mike, if you can't say my name properly, keep it out of your damn mouth.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they represent the youngest faction of the Democratic Party.
Mike Rogers.
Well, not only the younger generation, but us Gen Xers as well. Because a lot of us Gen Xers, let's face it, we're progressives.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of Bernie's people are leaning that way now. You know, they were.
Well, if you're Bernie's people, you're by definition progressive, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So at 4:30 in the morning today, while everybody was sound asleep, of course, that son of a bitch, Todd Blanche, most corrupt person that ever will hold the office of Attorney General, found his way into the position by one fucking vote. They were going back and forth on it all week. They didn't know when the vote would go down. There's a lot of coverage Friday evening. They assumed people would try. They would try to get it done.
Really in question, though. I don't think.
What's that, Aaron?
It was never really in question. It was going to happen.
I think so.
Like
I think so.
Like every other nomination he puts out there.
Yeah, I think John Cornyn and Tom Tillis they were trying to negotiate for their posts because they've already been voted out of the Senate. They're trying to. They probably got a sweet backroom deal from the president to be a lobbyist or some sort of position that agrees their palm in their retirement and take care of their families. That's what they were holding out for. And in the meantime, they could look like heroes in front of the people. Look, we got him to commit to writing. We got Blanche to commit to writing that they would not pursue this $17.76 billion slush fund for the January 6th. You're right. $1.76 billion slush fund.
My thing is with that is if you believe for one fucking minute that's dead,
it's not dead.
No, anymore
by
than
a
the
long shot.
Yeah.
No.
Tom
As
Tillis
soon
is
as
that
he
word.
gets the DOJ, he's going to fucking revive it. He's going to restore it, and it's going to go down.
Tom Tillis' net worth is allegedly between $8 and $11 million. I don't think he's worried about having his family taken care of.
Well, then why? Okay, that asks the question. Why do you flip?
Yeah, because they have the pictures. I firmly believe they have some kind of prosecutorial or social
Probably
evidence
just a
on
deal to
every single guy on every single member of Congress.
Aaron, do you think that getting Blanche to commit to paper that they will not pursue the slush fund was enough for Cornyn and Tillis? That was really what they were angling for, like a couple of Neville Chamberlains. They got a piece of paper here that assures
It's
me.
what they wanted to look like they're angling for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, I agree with that. I believe that. I believe that was part of the, we can be heroes to a wide swath of people by looking like we actually oppose this. And still actually gain the favor of the party in the end. So,
because there was two Republicans that actually decided with Democrats, and one of them, surprise, was Lisa Murkowski.
Yeah. At the very last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last, Susan Collins, I believe, also.
Yep.
Susan Collins every time.
Yeah. Collins always caves and
denounce until it's time for her to cast the tie-breaking vote, and then she'll go with the party.
So maybe when it comes to Susan Collins, we should refer to her as Sacco. Susan always chickens out.
Sacco Susan.
I like that. That's good. Yeah. That's good. But that's who Graham Plattner was going up against.
Yeah, I can't think of Plattner's replacement. I was just trying to come up with his name in my head.
Yeah. Thompson, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Troy Jackson.
The ramifications. Troy Jackson. Thanks, Aaron. The ramifications of Blanche being the Attorney General. He's already promised some rollback of abortion rights to evangelicals. He's certain to try to scandalize the office almost in every direction to gain the people of the president. It's, we're bound to see during the elections, we're bound to see ICE and different organizations at voting facilities.
Can I answer your earlier question with a non-answer that I found?
Sure.
Tillis has not responded to questions from McClatchy on why the immunity agreement met his criteria to advance Blanche. However, after Blanche posted the agreements, one of which isn't signed or dated, both Tillis and Cornyn said they were ready to move forward to confirm Blanche.
Yeah.
What are these immunity? What's the immunity?
The slush
Trump and
fund.
his family. Well, not only that, but also Trump and his family being immune from IRS audits.
That's
Yeah.
already
That's,
allegedly. Wasn't that part of the big beautiful bill?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no.
No,
That
no,
was part of the slush fund,
right.
the
Uh,
lawsuit for the slush fund.
so it's just
Yep.
so. But I believe Cornyn said it when they cornered him. He was like, "Well, the president. You can't really stem the president's desires. You can't really check him on what he wants to do, as if that wasn't exactly what his role is as a United
Right.
States senator, is to check the president."
Right.
He just said, "You can't do that." What do you mean you can't do that?
Well, the thing is, Cassidy was on the news tonight before we came on, and he was saying how he decided to vote for Blanche because he was voting for "quote unquote" the lesser of the two evils. It was
What
either
did-
What's
either
the other
him,
evil?
someone worse than him.
For God's
Which
sake.
is
Oh.
Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine somebody
Not
worse
many-
than Blanche. Blanche is the
Not
same
many deaths
asshole
below.
that went down and basically muted what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell,
Uh-huh.
and commuted her sentence to, or they commuted her sentence, but it had her sent to a plush.
Moved her to that place in Texas. Yeah.
It's so disgusting. It's so
Club
fucking
Fed,
disgusting. They have no
basically.
goddamn dignity at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't account integrity. It amounts to nothing these days. And apparently, fucking 40% of this country doesn't give a flying fuck about what their legacy is going to be in this world. It's like
Yep.
the only thing that matters is this.
Yep.
Who's got
And
the
the,
fucking
and
most
the,
amount of money?
You know what
Who's
though?
got the most fucking power?
They know.
Yep,
They know
and
why
the
the gas
thing is-
prices are where they're at.
They know
and the
what?
thing is, too, guys, keep in mind once again, we are talking about the most blatantly now corrupt administration, and that's in parentheses, that America has ever witnessed in history.
Still made the money
Aaron-
fingers, and people do know why the gas prices are where they're at right now.
Iran. Straight
Yep.
from the news. Yeah, straight from the
That wasn't Biden.
no.
No.
No. No.
It's so,
And then that's one of the things when we talk about the blatant corruption to persons we know who are MAGA. Well, all of them do it. It's not just Trump. All of them do it. And I'm like, I'm going to give you that. I will let you have that. But they don't all do
They
it
don't.
right in your face.
They don't
don't-
all enrich
Every
themselves.
president came out of the presidency
Jimmy
richer.
Carter sold his peanut farm.
Well, except for Jimmy. But we're gonna take Jimmy off the table. But every
Why?
president has come out since
Why is Jimmy off the table? Why
because
take Jimmy off the table?
because of the graft thing. I'm taking him off the graft table. But every other president has come out of the presidency with more money than he went in with. And I'm not that upset about it. But we're not talking billionaire.
but that whole
They didn't
whataboutism.
go in as a millionaire and come out as a billionaire.
That whole whataboutism is what MAGA uses to leverage or to
Right.
justify every fucking thing they
Yeah.
do. Like, okay, I heard an analogy earlier this week. You know, a lot of very mundane or very well-meaning people get traffic violations. But that doesn't, if there's a difference between a traffic violation and like vehicular homicide or intentionally
Right.
running over somebody.
Yeah.
So the false equivalency is off the hook.
Right.
You know,
Right.
That's it exactly. That's what I wanted to.
you can't
That's
take,
what I'm trying to communicate.
But let me add to that, guys. What we're talking about here is Trump and his grifting.
Mhm.
And if you want contrast, compare that once again to Watergate.
Mhm.
Right now, Trump is making Watergate look like a goddamn Boy Scout jamboree.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
And then there's a lot of things that Trump does. There's so much that's hitting the news that there's things that 10 years ago we'd have been like, oh my God, and it would have been on the news for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but the thing
Like
is, too,
a
Lisa,
blur.
But the thing is, too, Lisa, keep in mind, Trump loves attention
Yes.
above all else. As
Yes.
long as he is in the fucking news,
Mhm.
that's all that matters to him. Because now people are talking about him.
Mhm.
Right. Well, I mean, so MAGA has this sense that he's a strong man, that he's standing up to up to the world and stuff like that. He's really weakening the world. The world is exposing him. You know,
Yeah.
the world is not afraid of him the way apparently the people in this country are. It's like he has basically weakened this country.
He's weakened our economy.
The war itself. We found out this week that the munitions shortage caused by the Iran war it's reaching a crisis level, and Pete Hegseth did not even report this to Trump. Apparently, Trump is furious about it, but that makes us weaker in the eyes of China, Russia, all of our enemies.
Yeah.
Well, from what I heard, Trump and Hegseth got into it during a cabinet meeting behind that. Because Hegseth was telling him, hey, look, we're running out of munitions here. And Trump was like, we're fine. We got more. We can hit Iran with anything and everything we got. And everyone else is like, no, we don't.
Right.
And not only that, but when it comes to them, and I'm talking about Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran, Zelensky, during a meeting with Trump, told him how these four are giving intelligence, or the three, Iran, North Korea, and China, are feeding Russia intel against the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's taking a toll. It's eroding our international power. They don't respect Trump the way he imagines or portrays, or people in this country seem to buy into.
Nope.
He's, they hold meetings without the United States now. They don't care. They don't wait to make international decisions without. They don't need to consult the United
input.
States and stuff.
They don't even call. Like.
It's really tiresome, but we plod ahead here. What about Dr. Fauci? What about this stuff with Dr. Fauci this week? All the knuckleheads on the right keep talking about they've done their own research on COVID. Fauci did all this fucking bullshit. And, it's like millions of people died as a result of the vaccines and all this stuff. There's no proof of that at all. Absolutely.
None.
We all had the vaccine, right?
We all had the vaccine. Here we are.
Yeah. I was vaccinated. I've had every vaccine available, I think, to humankind that didn't involve men's cancer.
Well, this whole thing with Dr. Fauci, it is nothing more than a witch hunt that's being spearheaded by Rand Paul. Rand Paul has a personal vendetta with Dr. Fauci. And my thing is, just as fast as Republicans release Fauci's diary, why won't they release the goddamn Epstein files?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And what
And
would
all of them,
Rand Paul's
every
neighbor's
page,
diary.
not just the ones they want to.
you say, Aaron? I'm sorry.
I want to read Rand Paul's neighbor's diary, the one that kicked his ass.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And the whole thing with Fauci, it feels like a look over here. It feels like a big ass look over here.
They've been talking about this shit since the damn
It's a
pandemic.
wag
All
the
the
dog.
fucking rednecks
Yeah,
that went
but
out
it's
to
a wag the dog.
That's why, it's why Biden pardoned him, right?
yeah, these stupid events out in the desert. What was that? What's that big bar out in the desert? That's Jackal, the guy from Jackal does.
Mm-hmm. The biker thing. We used to watch that
Yeah. But anyway,
on TV.
they've been all over this shit from the very beginning. They've repeated the lies so many times that it's taken on a life of their own. And what did they accuse him of in the diaries? They accused him of, like, he made references to the fact that it's making it famous or something that's very innocuous, something that's very personal. It's
stupid.
like Fauci was like, oh, I'm more famous now than I ever was when Ronald Reagan mentioned my name or something. It's just something innocuous. It has no fucking
bearing.
there's no
It
evidence.
has no relevance.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was on TV every day. He was one of the most famous people in the world at the time.
Right. He was.
Well, considering that COVID was also the most famous pandemic in the world at that time.
Yeah, everybody was at home watching Fauci on TV.
Right. You couldn't watch any,
Jesse James and Sturgis. They had that big Sturgis bike rally. It was
Sturgis.
like the first MAGA event where a super spreader event is what they call it. And they're
Yeah.
lucky that more people have not died from that fucking act of recklessness. It's like
yeah.
Thousands did. Yeah.
I feel like my mother probably she probably died as a result of COVID. She did get COVID at the end of her life. I feel like she probably did, but it was
In a
not
nursing home at the height of COVID.
right.
Right. Well, this was like a year later, but
It's still the height of COVID. It was
well,
2021.
okay, yeah.
But it was not. It was not.
I thought it was 22.
It was It was early. It was spring of 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she didn't get COVID. She didn't die. She didn't have COVID at the time she passed away.
No.
But I feel like a lot of it was these socialization issues, the lack of people, and they say that a lot of people passed away quicker because of that. Now, I don't know how much longer she would have had, but 6 months. If we could have actually been in the room with her for
Well,
that 6 months, who knows?
Dr.
Maybe
Fauci.
she'd have come back a little.
Dr. Fauci's 85 years old, I think, and I hope he lives long enough to see his name put on some of these fucking monuments, like the reflecting pool or something, or whatever.
Right.
The fucking ballroom gets built. I hope we see his name put on some stuff, retrofit onto his, some of this crap that MAGA's trying to do. Honestly, because I don't think anything's going to come of this.
Back up to the fortnight.
What's that?
The judges ruled that Congress has to approve the ballroom.
Yeah, we can
Yep.
put that in.
They had to see construction of the ballroom,
Yeah.
but not the bunker.
Well,
So
Trump failed to realize
already
that possibly when he went on a tirade against. That's going to go to the Supreme Court. His Supreme Court is probably going to go ahead and allow the ballroom to be built, but we'll either level that son of a bitch or name it after Dr. Fauci after he's gone.
maybe not Fauci.
Yeah.
I'd like it to be the Carter.
You don't want your name on something that ugly.
I'd like it to be the Carter family ballroom.
That's good.
I'd like it to be knocked down and built up the way it was before.
Well,
I would too,
yeah.
Aaron. I feel like it's worth the money and time to tear down every fucking edifice to this moron
Uh-huh.
that they're putting up.
So we know that at some point his name is the tarp still up on the Kennedy Center.
I believe it is, yeah.
That means his name's still on the building. They didn't.
No, it's
No.
not.
It's not. Well, then
No.
why is the tarp still there?
Because he doesn't want
Because of the fact that Trump doesn't want people to know that it was removed.
Oh,
In
okay.
which
Well-
we already know it was because it was a fucking court order.
Honey, I would love to go to Washington and look around.
Here's a good one that Aaron brought up this fortnight. The FCC is waiving the rule capping local television networks' reach to 30% of the country, 39% of the country. So what this means is there's like these small media groups that are larger than like your Channel 5 in Cincinnati or your KXLA or whatever. There's one called Nexstar that's sizable enough to really broadcast on the same level as like Fox
Yeah.
News.
Yeah. They were the ones that refused to put Kimmel back on first.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
in bed with the president, and so it's more propaganda spreading is what it is. I mean, it's harder and harder to find your news.
We have the ability now to buy the whole country.
Yeah,
Well, considering that the two biggest news outlets right now are owned by either Murdoch or Hearst.
Mhm.
And
Both
you
of
got
them are
Hearst
Trump.
for a third. You got Sinclair in third.
Right. So that's the most.
Are
alarming-
they going to have to spin off CNN?
Are they gonna do what?
If the Warner Brothers thing goes through, are they going to have to spin off CNN?
I don't know.
I don't know.
CNN, I've heard, to my knowledge, they're going to turn into like Fox Junior.
Yep,
But-
TBD. And
I mean,
then,
it-
well, not only that, but so CBS. CBS is Fox 2.0.
Already.
You know, because take
Yeah.
a look at what Barry Weiss has done to 60 Minutes,
right.
and they've
Well,
lost more viewership in the last few months since the firings at 60 Minutes than at any time that we've known.
The best ratings.
I think if 60 Minutes were to go streaming and just completely leave the network, they would probably maintain and or recoup some of their,
Well, I've heard
Yeah.
that Barry Weiss is going to end up in charge of CNN and CBS.
oh God.
The
Well-
best ratings that CBS has received over the last couple months was when Tony DeCopel was out sick or something. When he was out of the chair, it's
Mhm.
like,
Yep.
so there is resistance still going out there. But I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts and stuff. I don't know if you've noticed the dearth of leftist podcasts. It's starting to thin out a little bit. I mean, I don't know. You still got the Daily Beast. You still got Don Lemon and
That young guy you listen to.
All I listen to are baseball and comedy for the most part, podcast
keep
wise.
yourself sane.
Yeah, that's
pretty
where
good.
I get my most of political news. Comedy Central.
But it's starting
I'm
to.
not saying I don't listen to political.
Well, just comedy.
But
Huh?
no, I think it's
Yeah.
important to support independent media, though. That is
Right.
getting actual news out there, because
Right.
the media blitz on like the standard news it's overwhelming. I mean, it's starting to saturate every corner of it. So these people like Jim Acosta that are out there, you might not like Jim Acosta and think he's like he's like trying to grab headlines, or Kyle Kalinske, or Steve Schmidt. You might not. You might think that they're tension grabbing and they're leveraging this for their own benefit, and that may be true. But the shit that's coming out of the traditional media are lies. They are fucking blatant lies supporting the narrative of a liar. It's like 1984 shit. So
Yeah.
I don't want to stick my head in the sand and not listen, because if they're gone because nobody listens, I don't know. There's not going to be anything left.
Right.
And how fucked up is it that when it comes down to what comes out of the White House and what's coming out of Iran, we're more geared toward believing Iran now than we are the White House.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely.
Well, there's a good
Yeah.
one.
They eliminated public broadcasting. That's kind of a big chunk of
Yep.
where
Right.
Reality.
the left
That's
media.
a slap in the face of you idiots out there.
Mhm.
And then what are the MAGA heads who homeschool their kids? I mean, were they using PBS, for their children's viewing, or
No, they were
not.
using Newsmax and Breitbart and Fox
I'm
News.
talking about like their kids, though.
Yeah,
They're
they're using
under
Veggie Tales
elementary school
and
age.
Davy and Goliath.
Oh, okay, Christian. Oh,
Yes.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Well, I mean, there's one that I want to plug. I'm trying to
Mhm.
find the name of it, because it's kind of like our show here. It's a little mom and pop shop, and very few people listen to it. And I'm sure people that do listen to it, they probably get a lot of bullshit like we do from knuckleheads.
Yeah.
But what it is it's a son and his sister
Mhm.
who are more progressive, bringing their mom on every week, who's MAGA, and going over issues just like we're doing.
Mhm.
And slowly but surely, as you listen to this, the mother is breaking down on almost her entire belief system. The more she talks to her kids,
Mhm.
but she's still beholden at the end. You can tell if she went out tomorrow, she would vote for Trump still, because she ends every episode that despite of all this, that
Mhm.
she understands that ICE is brutal. She understands that
Mhm.
you
And
know
that they're not just, taking on criminals.
yeah, and that they're
Yeah.
but I
And
mean
I
the
think that's where they try to say, well, if they're here illegally and they didn't do what they were supposed to, they're a criminal. No, violent crime. Violent.
yeah, where is that? Fuck, I want to give them a plug because it's a good
Mhm.
show.
Project 2025, their mandate for leadership said
Mhm.
what they established is quote, no legal entitlement exists for the provision of permanent space for media on the White House campus, and the next administration should re-examine the balance between media demands and space constraints on the White House premises.
Space constraints?
Yeah.
Don't they hold them in one room?
Well, they used to hold them on the lawn. Yeah.
Mm,
Remember when
right.
there was a lawn in
Yeah. Hmm.
the Rose Garden?
Now it's concrete.
Yep.
Same spot, but concrete.
God damn it! I got to plug this
Space
show. 'Cause it's really,
constraints.
It's,
Hold it in a fucking ballroom. Excuse my language.
uh,
Hold it in the ballroom.
all right.
Plenty of room in there.
Hmm.
I'll never find it. God damn it.
Okay.
Anyway, when I find it, I'll put it in the show notes.
Mhm.
Okay, so it reminds me. Okay, so the takeover of the media reminds me of things like in Cincinnati. You see their Facebook page and stuff like that, and it's okay. We interviewed Vivek Ramaswamy tonight, but we're gonna interview Amy Acton tonight, tomorrow night, and we're going to ask him fair and honest questions. And um, the point is, before the news would call out, they would call out the administration when they were lying. Like every time you would watch broadcast, it'd say the president said this today, which is provably wrong and incorrect, but it's like he wrote with it or whatever. But I don't know. I don't believe that the administration and those that are part of it deserve our equal attention. I really don't.
Mm.
I really
Well,
don't.
one thing about Vic Ramaswamy, he has specifically stated that he intends to roll back the vote that Ohioans voted on pertaining to abortion rights and marijuana rights. So he intends to take the
He intends to
Ohioans' vote away.
overrule your two votes if you vote them in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and we did because they've both been legalized. So he intends to overrule the vote, your vote. And this is the people that are trying to say they're protecting your votes by making you show extra ID.
Hmm.
Same people saying we're protecting your votes, which we're taking away. Just so you know, if your vote goes to Ramaswamy and you voted for either abortion rights or marijuana, it's going away.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
Ramaswamy
that's
can
the plan.
lose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he needs to.
Oh, he's
Probably
going
is.
to.
Oh, and when they say that Amy Acton closed Ohio, everyone closed. It was in COVID, you morons.
Well,
Sorry.
they're saying that the MAGA is saying that the closing of businesses was a catastrophic event for a lot of small businesses,
Yes,
and
it
that someone
was.
should be held accountable for the losses of those businesses because they feel like after doing their own research that COVID really wasn't responsible for any of the deaths during the pandemic. Only the treatment was. So it's like,
Which is bullshit.
yeah. So
These are the same people who talked about oxychloroquine. So,
all right. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Our
Polio didn't kill people. The vaccine did.
right.
please. Oh, the last polio survivor who was in an iron lung passed away because They said that the iron lung was malfunctioning, and there was no one who could fix it. So the last iron lung surviving polio person passed away.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Which is sad. Our hearts go out.
here's something that's interesting.
Absolutely.
Minnesota gubernatorial and MAGA acolyte Mike Lindell faces campaign violations for giving away My Pillows at a 4th of July parade. Um, so
Well, they have a retail value of $34.95 each that he's throwing out.
yeah,
And they say
so
vote for Mike Lindell on them.
right. So of course, nothing will ever touch him if it ever goes to court, probably. But
Right.
there you go. And finally, before we get to our fuck ups, this is actually horrific. But I always think when I hear something like this, I always feel like it's tied to the rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
You know how MAGA tries to turn everything around and blame violent rhetoric on the left, and well, the rhetoric of the president is often violent and racist in nature. That gives a permission structure for shit and escalates sometimes. Unfortunately, there's been a lynching in Mississippi. A woman named Tajia Fortune was lynched in Mississippi. I don't think they have discovered who did it at this point.
Or what or why.
But you can't really pin it on anybody at this point. But I just feel like the escalation of the rhetoric, the racist rhetoric that comes from
Our current
MAGA,
regime.
yeah,
With a president who thinks there are good people on both sides.
right,
Mm.
going way back to Charlotte, 2017, I believe, when he said that there are good people on both sides of the civil rights statue situation down there, which escalated into the death of somebody who was killed when a Trumpster kind of drove their car through the middle of a crowded street. This violence kind of derives from that type of rhetoric. It needs to be called out.
Jim Crow 2.0 doesn't exist.
Right.
No. Oh, and racism is a myth.
So Ramaswamy, even though he voted against the abortion thing, claims that he's going to be hands off on abortion policy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
he changed that because there were commercials
Yeah.
saying that he was going to, so
That's
good.
political
What about the
commercial.
marijuana?
He voted against it. I can't find anything about
Yeah.
gubernatorial stance.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you,
he
Aaron.
thinks that it's a federal crime. So I don't know if that means he would try to punish it.
He would.
Probably.
His head
But
is so corrupt,
we need
Trump's
a-
ass, it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started out. We were going to talk about Max Miller. I think we should talk a little bit about that real quick. Max Miller is
On 44 minutes here.
Yeah. Okay. Max Miller is
yeah.
a congressman who's up for re-election in the November midterms. It's turned out he's an Ohio congressman. Turns out he is accused of a number of terrible, actions against his own daughter and his wife, or his former wife, I guess. He doused her with scalding water at one point.
What did he do to his daughter?
I don't
Broke her collarbone.
broke her collarbone.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's
Yeah,
the
he held a gun. He held a gun to his wife's head.
yeah, right. And as volatile as the midterms are going to be for MAGA, the president has tried to maybe rein him in and see if maybe he should step aside. But Miller's going full bore into it. He's emulating his hero Donald Trump by saying he needs to fight these charges, and a lot of, he claims that men have been victims of false claims for years, and there's never been anything done about it. All his excuses sound like an episode of Crime Scene Investigation, where you got the criminal who's breaking under interrogation, saying things like, she
asked
it wasn't
for it.
just me. She escalated the arguments, or the water wasn't as hot as she let it on to be, and all this nonsense. But
Well, my thing is, if the allegations aren't true, then why did Senator Marino feel it necessary to move his daughter and granddaughter out of harm's way and put them in an undisclosed location?
Exactly.
right. Well,
Mhm.
but Miller's
Oh,
response
Max
to
Miller
that,
is Marino's
son-in-law.
son-in-law.
Marino's response to that was he wanted to keep the story out of the media. Of course, Miller says
Thereby protecting the asshole that did
he
it.
said, "Why did you wait 2 years to do that? Then
Mm.
why did that's a common thing you hear somebody say. Why did you wait? If you this proves that it's not true because you wouldn't have waited. Well, Marino was motivated by politics not to do that, but
Right.
Exactly. But also, he's been providing court documents to show that the allegations against Miller are true.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a documented trove of evidence that Miller has a history of violent and dangerous behavior, and no amount of victim shaming will change that.
Mm.
yeah.
Thank you.
That
Well-
Emily Marino's spokesperson, Stefan Michal, it's a tough
Mhm.
name, Mychajliw. Apologies for that mix of.
Okay, the deaths of Liz and
Oh no, I'm
Sheriff.
not going to bring that up again. I was going to.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just saying that that's kind of the type of
We don't have times for that. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess let's go to the fuck ups of the fortnight here. We might be able to fit them in easily here with enough time. So let's see. The first one I have. I'm going to put Aaron's in here somewhere. And Aaron, by the way, thank you for showing up. I know this has been a difficult day with the power outage and everything like that.
Power came on. Everything's fine now, but yeah, I was out for 23 hours.
Yeah, that's really rough when that happens. But you had a fuck up that I might substitute here for one of our weaker ones. What was that?
I don't know. It's been 20 minutes since I.
Right. All right. Well, let's just go. Here's my first one. Kristen Welker appearing to socialize with Stephen Miller at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That was caught on recording, and she was having a big joke with him and laughing and touching his arm. It was really a terrible
So
look.
it wasn't socializing; it was flirting.
Well,
if she's touching his arm, did she touch her hair too?
I mean, she was having a good time.
Yeah.
It looked like she maybe had a couple cocktails.
She was coming on to him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody's coming on the column.
Oh, Voldemort, you're so handsome.
Come on the show, please.
You're so Voldemort, you're so
powerful. Versus Trump's horrible hairpiece. He's obviously wearing a new raccoon on that head, on that melon.
Anybody flirting with Stephen Miller versus Trump's new hairpiece.
Yeah, that cat meme, that was cool.
An orange tabby.
Yeah. So what do you
Garfield is on his scalp, people.
Exactly.
What do you got, Will, of those two?
I gotta go with Homegirl trying to come on to Stephen Miller.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's cringe. That's cringy.
Yeah.
In every sense of the term.
We know Trump is tacky. But
so many. We already knew his hair was horrible. It's been horrible for 30 years.
Welker had gained some momentum when she had her last interview with Trump, and she asked him some tough questions, and she had, thought that she had kind of asserted herself, and then she takes this step back right here.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think, Aaron?
I don't care how.
I think they're supposed to be fraternizing at that event.
Yeah, but you can't get that drunk. Drunk enough to touch Voldemort? No. Mm-mm.
Voldemort.
Nope. Mm-mm. Not happening.
So you got the other one? You got Trump's Garfield?
Yeah, I got Trump's hairpiece.
Okay.
Garfield.
Yeah. No, Voldemort.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you, Aaron, but don't let yourself be recorded. Don't let yourself be seen. Not with
Garfield.
That piece of shit. So I'm gonna go with Welker also.
So where are you, Will?
We got that's 3-1.
Okay.
So Kristen Welker moves on. Let's see. So number 2, Massey. Okay, I'm gonna put. I like Massey. I don't like Massey, but I like Ro Khanna, and I feel like that he's doing yeoman's work. But I feel like they fucked up when they failed to build enforcement for the Epstein bill into the bill
Mm-hmm.
that allowed Todd Blanche to basically flush it down the toilet and ignore it. There's really no mechanism for enforcing it. Versus RFK Jr.'s disastrous appearance with Dana Bash on CNN. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Unfortunately, I did.
That was a shit show.
That was an embarrassment.
He sounded like a drunk at a honky tonk, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dana
It was
Bash
not.
is no Goliath in the media, but she really took him to task. But
She did a good job, I thought.
His response to her was that she's not a scientist.
yeah,
Neither are you.
yeah. So
Just because you sniff cocaine off of toilet seats doesn't make you a scientist.
Yeah, right. So
Especially doesn't make you a scientist. So Voldemort won number 1.
Because you cut out raccoon penises to investigate later, to study later.
So who do we got there? Who's the winner on that, Aaron? Who do you think?
RFK.
Okay. Lise?
I gotta go with lack of enforcement in the Epstein bill.
Okay. Will?
I got to go with Ro Khanna because he's supposed to be this great representative of California, but yet for him to make a gaffe like that, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to make it 3-1, Aaron. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's very impactful.
I mean, the RFK thing, yeah, that was, yeah.
They made it as public as they could make it. They did their part.
Yeah.
But I'm totally behind Ro Khanna and Massey in this occasion, even though he's.
If they built enforcement into it, it might not have passed.
It probably wouldn't have, but what's the point of passing it at all if there's no way to hold it up?
So
It's a paper building.
There's got to be a level of
built a
accountability.
paper building. I think a paper building versus RFK.
The accountability is not going to come for another 2 years plus. When somebody else is in office.
I wanted accountability. I would like accountability.
Well,
Why have a bill if you're not going to make it work?
If you take a look at the polls in America, the majority of America wants accountability.
Yeah. And that's what we'll see in 2 months now. August already? 2 months.
87 days, I think.
Yep.
So here we go. Matchup number 3. Cornyn and Tillis thinking a piece of paper means anything to Todd Blanche or or Adolf Hitler or Chamberlain.
Whoever.
Versus Andrew and Tristan Tate expecting Trump to save them from sex crimes in Great Britain.
Oh, have you seen the stuff about their texts from prison? It's hilarious.
They're getting ghosted by the
funny.
president. They're trying to reach out to the president, but Trump wants nothing to do with them right now.
Yeah.
He's totally
I guess not. If they're indicating that Barron Trump had something to do with it,
right.
Of course, Daddy's not going to touch it.
He's been sympathetic to them for quite a while, but right now he's turning the cold shoulder. But which one of these miscalculations is worse? Lisa?
Piece of paper meaning something, or I'm going to go with the piece of paper. I could care less about Andrew and Tristan Tate.
What piece of paper are we talking about here?
Well,
the reason why they voted for Blanche.
Yeah, ostensibly they voted for
the
Branch.
1.776 fund.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So who do we got? Where we at?
The 1776 fund.
Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going with the Blanche thing. I don't know enough about
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Britain.
You already said
It's funny.
You already
But
said
yeah,
Blanche,
I already
right?
said Blanche.
What about you, Will?
I got to go with Blanche too, because again, anytime you indicate any member of Trump's family, he's automatically going to turn against you. That's a given.
I don't know.
That's a sweep.
There's Eric. There's Tiffany.
That's true. And his sister.
And his niece.
His niece. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The final matchup. Apparently, Amazon was so impressed
was a
with
sweep.
Melania's disastrous documentary bullshit
That's just money laundering pipe. Don't worry about it.
Well, now there's going to be a follow-up series on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that was such a great hit that they're going to go ahead and do that, and so
How much does she get paid for that?
plenty.
Like 40 million.
I heard she got 26 million for the movie. Who knows for the series?
Mm.
So that series versus
Ice.
Currently-
Ice.
ICE. Yeah, there's 59 active ICE agents currently accused of sex or violent crimes. 35 of them against children. So,
Yeah. I mean,
I
this
gotta
is-
go Ice.
You got to win the whole thing.
Ice.
ICE crimes, we'll call
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
Okay, that's another sweep. So that's two sweeps that'll face off in the second round. All right, so here we go. It's the final four. Kristen Welker with Stephen Miller versus the Epstein bill.
Having no power.
Yeah,
The
oversight.
paper
Epstein
house
bill.
built by the Epstein bill.
Epstein bill for Aaron.
Okay.
I'll go Epstein bill.
Will?
I got to go with the Epstein bill.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I do too.
All right. Epstein bill moves on into the finals.
Another sweep.
Epstein bill mistake, we'll call it.
And I want to say, please keep your negative comments coming because we know you're watching.
we
We
like it.
live in your head rent free.
There were 3 minutes.
All right.
In fact, we'll take rent.
Here we go. The final
If you wanna
matchup
talk.
of the final four. Todd Blanche's paper promise versus the ICE crimes against children.
Oh, ice crimes.
Ice
Yeah.
crime, hands down.
Ice.
Anytime you're committing crimes against children, yeah.
And murdering people in the street
It comes down to
with a
ice,
cover up.
ice children thing versus the Epstein bill no enforcement for the finale.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Ice crimes.
And I'll
Ice
go with the ICE crimes
Yeah, ice.
because they're showing no.
Remorse.
They're hiring whoever.
Yeah.
They give them 47 days of training. They don't give a fuck who they are as long as they're loyal to the.
Yeah, and that you know
president.
they're not doing psychological evaluations other than you want to get them burners.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the one.
there was a guy that was in front of
Pedophile
There
protector.
there was a guy in front of a congressional committee that admitted on national television that ICE training it's faulty.
It's a
There's
joke.
very little training at all.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
any.
Yeah.
So,
it's
and
shoddy.
as a father, anytime you commit a crime against a child, as far as I'm concerned, fuck putting you under the goddamn jail. You need to have a bullet in your fucking brain.
Yeah. You know those things where children are chained in the basement and treated horribly by their parents? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So when you get
We'd like
accosted
to
by
thank
them,
the social network.
Do what,
we're
Aaron?
on the Antisocial Network. We got to say that. Thanks to Rob and the crew on the
Uh-huh.
Antisocial Network. And just keep in mind when you get confronted by
forget to say
ICE,
that at
you
the
might be confronted by someone who's motivated by deviant desires.
Yep. Hey, real fast, guys, I want to give my prayers and my thoughts to the Biden family because Joe Biden's prostate cancer has gotten worse, according to his son.
Oh yeah. Hunter Biden. He's
Yeah.
been making the rounds, and he did say that. So
So
that,
my prayers to President Biden.
Yeah.
yes, that's apropos for the finale of the show here. So you guys have a great next 2 weeks. Survive it if you can. If you do, then we'll see you again then.
Okay.
All right. Adios.
Yeah, I think that was